Hey everybody, assalamu alaikum. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right, so you guys can hear me. All right, assalamu alaikum. Mr. Islam Answers back with the show. We're gonna try to do it here. Like I said, uh, as I told you guys before, unfortunately, my laptop is going out on me. My desktop went out on me. So, mashallah, like I said, we're being tested right now, but the show must go on, as they say, right? Show must go on. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time out, and from this point on, until I can get me another laptop or a desktop computer, my shows may be a little unpredictable as opposed to the schedule that we used to do on Sundays, inshallah. So, brothers and sisters, please bear with me. Wa alaikum salam, council of ears. All right, so inshallah, just please bear with me. I guess I might as well use this time to take out the time that if you can help your brother out by joining the Patreon or making a donation through Cash App or something, that would greatly help your brother out, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, brother Sammy. Glad you guys could tune in such a short notice. But today's topic, brother Amarul, well, assalamu alaikum, welcome to you too. So I wanted to take the time out to talk to you guys about, as you saw, the subject, which is the covering up of right-wing extremists. Particularly, I don't know about in other countries in the UK and things like that, which also we know you guys are having a problem over there. I've seen videos and documentaries about the rise of right-wing, white racist extremism happening in Europe, in the UK, particularly in Greece and Belgium. The UK has a couple of groups. So it's on the rise there too. I don't know if they're covering it up so much as they're doing here in the United States. But there have been some articles released. There was one released recently, and there was one released back during the time, I believe it was the time when Bush was in office, if I remember correctly, where they were even talking about it back then, that there was this rise in the threat in right-wing, white racist extremism, but the Republican Party in particular was fighting to basically cover that up and fighting to kind of, keep that on the low, as they say. As I don't know why, I guess, well, now we know why, which is I guess, because number one, of course, they want Islam and they want Muslims to remain the target, and that's who they want people to be afraid of. And so, but because now the Islamic threat is not really, it's not really there as much as and really it never was as much as they claimed it to be. But there is now this rising threat and this rising violence that we've seen of right-wing white racist extremism. They don't want whites to be the face of terrorism, because of course that's reserved for Muslims. That's reserved for the illegal Mexican and Latino immigrants. That's reserved for the black thugs in of course I'm using this in sarcastically, but the black thugs in the ghettos of the United States. They want those people to be the face of trouble and violence and danger in Western societies. So they don't want to put it out there that, well, look, this real threat is happening of right-wing extremism, so that they don't want that to be, they don't want that to be the face. But it's coming now where they can't really hide it, because so many of these incidents are continuing to happen. You see what I'm saying? So they can't really, now it's bursting out. So they can't really keep it undercover anymore, right? But as I said, there's been reports even back during the time of Bush. I wish I had my laptop so I could show you the articles that I'm talking about. But maybe later I'll see if I can at least put it in the description of the video after I'm done. But there was reports released back then where there were good people in the government who were trying to expose that, hey, look, this threat is on the rise. But they were saying that members of the Republican Party were opposed to that. They didn't want to put that out there. They wanted to, keep a cover on that. They didn't want to put that out because, of course, those people are their constituents, right? Unfortunately, a lot of these right-wing extremists are constituents of the Republican Party, right? They go for that conservative stuff, and many of them are supporters of George Bush and the Republicans. Now they're the supporters of Trump and the Republican Party. So they don't want to put that out there because they know those are the people that support them. So basically it's like, hey, well, we don't want to put our constituents, the people that support us, we don't want to have them being the face of terror and violence in America when that's just the reality of what it is. So there were articles that were released. I don't know how big they were because it appears that a lot of people weren't really talking about it, but that's another way how they play the game of keeping the information down. So it may get put out there, but it won't get put out there in such a wide mass spread fashion like when a Muslim does something, or if a black person commits a crime, or if an illegal Hispanic immigrant commits a crime. You know, they'll get mass coverage, and it'll be constant coverage of that. So these articles did come out that were exposing that reality, but these articles exposing how, in fact, yes, how the GOP, that's the Republican Party, that's the acronym for the Republican Party here, were fighting to not make it a big deal. But now there are reports showing, and if you look at the thumbnail that I used for this video, it shows you the statistics on, you know, how 3 out of 4, you know, acts of extremist violence or acts of terrorist violence are now associated with white supremacists, or, you know, with white supremacy. Look, when you get a chance, look on the picture that I used for here, and it'll show you that like 3 out of 4 acts of extremist violence are now white supremacist, right-wing extremist violence. And so, as I said, they're keeping that on the wraps. They've been trying to fight to not make that. And of course, this is in concert with the media, where they don't want to really, you know, again, they don't want themselves to be the face of what they were blaming everybody else for. You see what I'm saying? So now they're keeping that on the where did you get the statistics? Man, you know what? Like I said, it's on. I'd have to post it for you. But if you basically, how did I Google it? You can Google. I mean, I already knew of it. I just needed to find a picture to put up for the picture for the video. But if you Google cover up of right-wing extremists, you'll see the articles will come up. Or if you put in images, they'll show you the statistics and how that comes up like that. So as I said, unfortunately, because I don't have my laptop, you know how I usually do my videos where I can actually show you and have everything. Unfortunately, I don't have that available because I have to use my phone right now. But as I said, if you Google that, you'll see it. And when you look at the thumbnail for the video of this, for the picture of this video, you'll see it. It'll show you, you know, the numbers and everything like that. But if you Google that, it'll give you, you know, you can see the source of where they got the, you know, the source for the statistics on that. So that's what they were saying, that obviously more and more violence is being, and they showed it too, that how the right-wing extremist violence is way more than the Islamic, way more than those acts that are associated with so-called Islamic terrorist Islamic violence. And of course, I say so-called. I'm not denying that there may be Muslims out there committing acts. I'm saying so-called because we as Muslims don't agree that those acts are condoned by Islam. I know I'm not denying that there might be Muslims out there committing such acts, but I'm saying so-called because of the fact that we as Muslims say no, that Islam does not condone what they do. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. But yes, the reality is that this type of right-wing, white racist extremism is on the rise. As we've heard now, we've heard of shooting after shooting. There was like just 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was like 2 shootings within a day of each other. One the next day, one the first day, and then the next day another guy does the same thing with the same motivation, which was targeting, you know, either black and Hispanics or Hispanic people. And of course, this is due to the rhetoric, unfortunately, of about those in government who have been making now that, you know, yeah, the Muslims are still a problem, but now there's this Hispanic invasion, this Latino invasion, and so now they're becoming the new face of the target of white hatred and right-wing extremism. They're the new target now, you see. And so so that's what we see So that's what we see happening here, where these acts of violence are increasing. And as I said, if you look at the statistic, it shows that, like, I think it was 78 or 79% of the acts were done by white supremacists, right? There was some anti-government, there were some what they call incel violence, and I forgot what the other one was, but those numbers were less. The biggest majority of the acts were done by white supremacists. All right. So as we've talked about in our yeah, 76%. Thank you, brother Remy. So as we see that, you know, more and more of this type of violence is taking place. And remember that video I did about the religion of white supremacy, right? And so that's a reality, brothers and sisters. That wasn't just a joke. That wasn't just me being sarcastic. That's a reality. There is this, you know, there's this ideology of white supremacy, and it has its militia wings of it, and these people are now carrying out acts of terrorism in the name of white supremacy. So, but as I said, it's being covered up. They're covering even now. Check it out. Like, even after those incidents with the guys who were shooting up the Walmarts and stuff like that, after a couple of incidents happened after that, you notice that the media started trying to downplay the motive, right? Even the police departments wouldn't release the picture of the person. They wouldn't release their names and things like that. Why are they doing that? Why are they? Because, again, this is a concerted effort between the law enforcement, between the media, the government, etc., whereas they don't want themselves to now be the face of terrorism, the same way that they made Muslims the face of terrorism, the same way they made the blacks the face of thuggery and gangs and all of that, the same way they make Latinos and Hispanics the face of illegal immigration and illegal crime and all these things like that. So now, as brother Malcolm said, the chickens are coming home to roost, in a sense. And in this sense, they're coming home to roost. And now that the same thing that they had done to others, right, as far as promoting the imagery of and wiping with a broad brush a whole group of people, now it's that it's happening to them. But because they control the media narrative, they can diminish their image and say, well, this guy was crazy. Or, hey, let's not show his name. Let's not show his picture. Hey, let's not even talk about the motive why he did it. Even though many of these people in their manifestos acknowledge that the reason their motivation is racist. It was white racism. Their motivation was, hey, there's too many Hispanics coming in this country. Hey, there's too many people of color. Hey, too many Arabs. Hey, I don't like black people. Hey, I want my country to be pure white, or these people are, they've acknowledged to us their motives, right? So now the media, in concert with law enforcement and government, now are trying to downplay that, where now they don't even tell you the motive. Oh, he was mentally deranged, even though the guy's manifesto tells us what motivated him to do it, right? Now they won't show the picture. But if me or you did it, oh yeah, our picture's up there. Oh yeah, look, black man committed the crime. Here's his picture, here's his name, and all of that, right? Here's his picture, here's his name, here's all of that, right? If a Muslim is accused, or Arab, Middle East, here's his picture, there's his name, Muhammad Salim. Oh, Hispanic, committed a crime. Here he is, Jose Felipe Luciano or Rodriguez, right? They'll show you. But now with these guys, now they don't want to show the picture. Now they're going to wait, tell you his name. Now they don't want to tell you why he did it. They'll try to downplay it, even though like they did that in the one, I think, in Ohio. They tried to downplay that, look, the majority of his victims were black and Hispanic people, right? But well, it wasn't really racially motivated. No, they're trying to downplay it. They're covering up the fact that the real threat and the rising threat is right-wing extremism based upon a motivation of white supremacy and white racism. They're trying to cover that up. They're trying to downplay it. And as I said, the articles, I'll put them in the link, where they show that it was even that even the government is involved in trying to cover that up. You know what I'm saying? That even the government is involved in trying to cover that up. So I just wanted to share that with you, brothers and sisters, briefly. Inshallah, Nothing has been done to. Yeah, exactly. Well, not really, not really. You know what I mean? And that's why they're downplaying it, right? That's why they're downplaying it, because really, not really, they're not doing too much to try to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Not as much. So, and they want, like I said, and they want to downplay it because these people, their constituents, if they start promoting that and trying to go after them, they probably feel that they'll lose their power. They'll lose the people that are voting. These are the people who voted for Trump and vote for the Republican Party. So they don't even put it out there where they're putting their constituents as the target. But eventually, as I said, they're going to have to face that reality and face that fact. So we're going to see what Robert Spencer's and David Woods are going to do. Are they going to change? I doubt it. I doubt they'll change how they talk, but I would like to see what they do, because I've checked, I've gone to see Robert Spencer's page and see, is he even talking about these incidents? And when you go, nope, he'll find some Islamic incident to talk about. He'll find some little article that a Muslim did this or that, and I'm like, wow, he's not even talking about this white ring extremism. Nor is David Wood. So it's interesting to see how they're just totally ignoring these incidents, but meanwhile, this is now the threat. The threat of the Islamic thing is minimal, right? The Islamic issue thing, the so-called Islamic extremism thing is minimal, and this is the rising threat. But again, because they control the media and they control, how things are put out there, they can diminish, making themselves be the face of that now. So I just wanted to talk about that. As I said, when I get a chance, I'll see if I can post those articles so you can look at them yourself and see that people are exposing it, but unfortunately, it's not getting as widespread promotion as if it was done by Muslims, right? Or any other group of people, any other non-white group. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you, brothers and sisters. Appreciate you guys tuning in again. I'm still looking to get my 10 Patreon supporters. By now, I should be saying 20, right? I should say 20 now, but I'm still trying to get that 10. All right. So inshallah, if you can help out with that, and help out with any other means, I'd greatly appreciate it. And like I said, for now, I'm going to be doing my videos like this until I can get me another laptop or something, inshallah. So bear with me, but as long as you guys don't mind it being like this, that's all. It's all good. All right. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and inshallah, I'll see you guys on the next show. Assalamu alaikum.